Hey everyone, today I'm gonna tell you about my daily life while I was in Malaysia. On a normal weekday, Monday to Friday, I used to wake up around 6:30 a.m. to have breakfast. At first, I only ate toast because I was too lazy to cook rice. And a fried egg cooked in the microwave. That's it, because I was too lazy to wash vegetables too. But then I started to evolve. I added milk, then some fruit, and finally I got to the veggies. Later on, I bought a huge bag of oats. So I mainly ate oatmeal with milk for a long time, along with chicken breast. When I first bought the chicken, I didn't know how to cook it, so I just marinated it with pepper and then fried it. Eventually, I got lazy and started boiling them, keeping them in the fridge, warming some of them up in the morning, and eating those with some low sodium soy sauce. It was so good. It tasted just like boiled chicken with fish sauce. I chose to eat at home because it was way cheaper than eating out, especially when you consider the nutrition. The breakfast I made myself was about 5 ringgit. If I bought food outside, I might only get rice and stir-fried vegetables at the cheapest vegetarian restaurant near school. If I wanted to add an egg, it would cost more. After breakfast, I did my routine, and around 8 something, I started on the homework for the morning class. Sometimes I didn't even finish it. The morning class gave homework every day, but the afternoon class didn't, though I did see that if you were taking IELTS or TOEFL classes, they seemed to have homework. I rushed out of my apartment around 9:15 or 9:20 and made it to the classroom just in time for 9:30 a.m. So here is the route I used to take to school. I just kept walking, and then I always had to cross the pedestrian bridge for safety. You would see a lot of homeless people staying up there, but I don't think they were dangerous. Maybe. The whole trip only took me about 10 minutes. The school itself was on the third floor, so once I got there, I had to take the elevator up. And because it was the Deepavali festival that day, they had set up the decorations like this. The place was completely empty because all the students were already in classes. I was so late that day. Classes was fun and enjoyable. We played games and did Kahoot quizzes to review the lessons. We always had activities, presentations, and discussions on every topic. I got to speak English and exchange ideas with my friends. Sometimes we had question prompts or role-playing scenarios. I especially loved practicing how to complain politely. Sorry to bother you, but I found an insect in my salad. Oh, I am sorry about that. I didn't mean to. Do you think you could change it for 2 new pizzas? Nani? Most of my classmates were Japanese, all ages and genders. Others were from Middle East, Korea, and China. They were mostly working adults or university students. And then there was little me, in touch, the youngest in the room. I just spoke whatever I thought and answered whatever I could. In my final week, there were about 15 people in the class, which is quite a lot, but we were never all there at once. Some people missed class sometimes, and some were absent a lot. The school tries to keep the class size under 15, so the teacher can manage everyone well. For the lunch on my typical days, I went with Wakako, Koromi, and Hyung. Sometimes we ate at the vegetarian place under the building for about 5 to 6 ringgit. Other times we ate at a nearby mall, which cost more than 10 ringgit. We also checked out other restaurants in the area. There are so many food options downtown. While I was there, I tried to avoid Thai food and try new things first, like Singaporean, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Indonesian, Indian, and Malaysian food. I did try Thai food once because a Thai friend told me. The flavor wasn't the same as in Thailand. Overall, though, every meal I had in Malaysia was delicious to me, probably because I was so hungry all the time. Then it was time for afternoon class, which was generally more chilled out and fun. I had a friend from Saudi Arabia who was my age. In the first week, we had a medical student from Jordan. He was super smart. We also had an investor, a designer, office workers, and university students. The teacher was really fun, and she started calling me Incha. After that, all the friends in my class who couldn't remember my name when I introduced myself on my first day also started calling me Incha. It was pretty funny. Classes finished at 4 p.m. from Monday to Thursday and at 3 p.m. on Friday. When I got home, I usually ate dinner right away and then went out to explore so I wouldn't get hungry later. My dinner was similar to my breakfast, mostly oatmeal, milk, boiled eggs, and vegetables, plus fruit sometimes. But if I planned to eat out, I would eat out. Simple. I went out a lot, rain or shine. I was out. I usually walked because it saved money and was good exercise. The first week, I was non-stop. It just had to get out of my room and go explore. Before I left, both my parents and father warned me about coming back late, saying it was dangerous. But once I realized it was fun, I started leaving around 5 p.m. and coming back as late as 9 p.m. I usually went out by myself. The great thing about going solo is that I could stop whatever I wanted and could spend time choosing what I wanted without any time limit. When I go with others, I felt like I was bothering them or I got bored waiting for them to choose something. Actually, it's not that bad. Anyway, being alone was more independent. Getting lost was also kind of exciting because I got to discover new things. I also realized I walk pretty fast. There was one time my only Thai friend Amanda invited me to visit Twin Towers with two Japanese friends. I said yes, even though it was my third time going there. We met in front of the school. Yeah, I mean the meeting point. I felt a bit out of place. My clothes looked like I was going hiking, which was quite different from the pretty dresses everyone else was wearing. But it's okay. Since I knew the way, I led them on the walk. Turns out, no one was keeping up with me. In the end, while the three of them were taking photos, I asked if I could go into the mall first. In fact, I wanted to solo explore the nearby area. I walked through every mall I passed, checking out everything from the first floor to the top. I remember visiting about 10 places that day. I walked so much, my feet were throbbing when I got home. Anyway, back to my typical day again. Yeah, but there were some days when I had run out of close places to visit and only faraway spots were left. So I had to go grocery shopping at the cheapest mall, which was quite a distance from my place. To stock up, if I stayed home and had nothing to do, I would go use the fitness center to get my apartment rent money's worth. Or sometimes, if it was too late, I just worked out in my room. Honestly, another reason for using the gym was to be strong enough to run away if anyone ever tried to mess with me. As for the pool, I swam every weekend, 50 laps at a time. I usually went in the morning so I could have the pool all myself. In the evening, I called my parents, finished my chores, and watched my favorite series. Then went to sleep. Didn't forget to close the curtain. It was very bright outside.